Hello my friend, how are you? This is Dan McDonald. I'm here with Tavis Bradley, a really good friend of mine, and this is a very special video. I wanted to introduce you to Tavis. I think that after 13 years in the raw food game, you pretty much have inspired me, educated me more than anybody else in a real close one-on-one way, and I wanted to share what he's got in that head of his, which is very, for me, profound. It's been very helpful on my personal journey, and I hold Tavis in the highest regard. And I wanted to just talk today a little bit and share with my viewers so that they can it's always my intention to help them get healthier. And so I wanted to ask you, first of all, how long have you been a raw fooder?
It will be 20 years on April 1st this year.
And how come we haven't heard of you before?
Because when I started this journey, when I started this journey in 1993, later in the month in April, I made a promise between our source to first undergo 20 years of direct experience before I would come out and share, what I have gone through, because I feel like for myself it would have been misleading, and also it would have been misleading for everyone else if I didn't know through direct experience
How to succeed at raw foods?
Yeah, so I had to know for myself what I was doing, just like anything in life. So.
Okay, so I'm going to make a suggestion.
Speak up.
Yeah, to speak up. Like, he's very humble. He's kind of the opposite of me. I'm like the guy out there in front of the thing. I have no problem talking loud. I have a lot of experience. So we're also going to, because I said, Tavis, you got to have a YouTube channel. You got to get out there, man. So it's cool that we met, because he's coming out and you're going to share with the world. Now, we've been talking for about 12 hours a day every day for the last week, and we just don't run out of stuff to talk about. So many different ideas, but you've had some really solid experience. And one thing I want to point out, and you can share about this if you will, 10 years, total fruitarian, not a drop of water. So you're kind of crazy. Let's get that straight here. But in a real good way. You ate total fruit for 10 years.
Yep. The first 10 years was 100% fruit. I took it a little bit further than your average fruitarian, because I even went as far as eating no herbs and greens, meaning like lettuce and green leafy vegetables. So basically it was all fruits and avocados, berries, anything you grow on a tree or a vine, basically, except for, that included cucumbers too, and tomatoes. So that was in my diet. A lot of people get those confused with being a vegetable, but actually those are fruits. So it excluded nuts and seeds, all oils, all herbs and green leafy vegetables. So it was fruit exclusively, and then I took it a little bit further than that, because I had an insight into another idea that fruits contain structured water and living water, and I saw water itself that we are used to drinking as like an element, incomplete. The same with earth, air, water, and sun. So I had them kind of in the same category in my mind, and so I went as far as not drinking any water for 10 years, and not even letting a drop of water come into my mouth when I was to take a shower, because I made a choice. I convicted myself to that, and so the first 10 years was 100% fruit with quite a bit of fasting, and every fast was dry fast, no water, just dry.
7 days at a time.
7 days a bit, 3 days,
No food, no
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Pretty intense fella here. But a lot of that's changed with the
Yes.
experience, seeking for deeper truths. So when you were a fruitarian, your health was pretty good. Fasting and fruit.
it was great. I mean, with the exception of not drinking water, the fruit diet, the fruit lifestyle, the fruitarian lifestyle is very purifying and tonifying and cleansing. But once you do that, then you have to rebuild or build and strengthen yourself so that you can be on earth and be grounded and be rooted in, kind of anchor yourself to your body, because cleansing is not rooting, cleansing is not grounding. So after you've done cleansing, then you have to bring yourself down to the earth and ground yourself and lock yourself in so you can fully be in your body and be, because a lot of people that come to the raw food, living food, lifestyle and are attracted to it, they're attracted to it because there's all these claims by people, and there's a lot of hype that it offers great health, great vitality, and super strength, and eternally youthful, glow and beauty and all this stuff. But to make that a reality and actually to last in that way and to bring that to fruition, you have to have a balance. You have to strike, you have to bring the full spectrum of the Mother Earth's gifts into your body. Cleansing is just part of the life and lifestyle. Then there's building, so that's where it's
So you spent 10 years basically cleansing.
Yeah.
So you were clean and had a lot of energy. Was there anything at that? Now you're a lot stronger
than I was during the first 10 years. Sure, yeah. When you're cleansing, you're cleansing, so your organs are going to be flushing, so you're going to have compromised trade-offs. Every day you'll have a different organ that'll be strong, and then a different organ will be weak. So, like, now, of course, I'm stronger than ever after incorporating all of the other parts of the program, which is oils, fats, seaweed, sea vegetables, nuts and seeds, and more importantly than that even is the hydration factor and bringing in water itself and drinking more water than food I'm eating. So yeah, now I've come full circle. So I've done the cleansing now. I've finished the 10 years of building now. So now I'm in a place where I've struck a balance, and now I know my own balance, and I know what it takes to succeed in the raw food.
long term.
Long term.
A lot of the fruitarians drop off, shrivel up,
Right.
fall apart.
Yeah.
Nervous system, neurological disorders,
Yeah.
attitude issues. And so you did really well because you were healthy when you got into it. And I want to encourage you to speak up a little bit if you can. It's something that if we continue to work together, which I hope we do, then I will continue to always encourage you to. He always thinks I'm making a video every time I'm talking because it sounds like I'm just on autopilot. But I want to make sure that they can hear what you're saying because it's very important. And I've been working with Tavis for a week. And my whole life has changed a lot. My strength, my energy levels, because I was on a constant cleanse. And I'm pretty clean, right? But what we're dealing with, I'm very clean. But there were some deeper issues. Calcium deposits, drug deposits, which without, I can explain it because I talk loud enough a little bit. But you've got to I've got these evil, dark, death crystals in my body. We need to bring in superpower light crystals to neutralize and flush those. And the fruits and vegetables don't quite have enough of the power. So when you go, make sure that you up a couple notches so that they can make sure that they can hear what you have to say. But what I was going to say is that I had basically, the program that Tavis has me on has really helped me. Within the first 24 hours, I felt better. It's a series of tonics with a lot of liquids, and then nice, healthy, living oils, living fats. And within 24 hours, I felt better, and my strength and energy and stamina and my nerves, everything is improved within 1 week. And Tavis tells me that if I stay on the program, I'm going to continue to improve, and I believe it because I know when someone knows what he's talking about because I've read all the books. I just couldn't wrap my own head around it because I don't have the same experience as you. I've been, you know, as soon as I got into, I did raw foods, but then I got Mr. Popular, and I haven't had the time that I want to spend on myself. And so I'm thankful that you came along and kind of saved me some time, so that I can just take your knowledge, and I got it right away. This week has been extremely educational, changed me forever. It's not that what I was doing before was wrong, it was right, but there was a couple of key elements that I needed from somebody who's been 100% raw for 20 years and has had pretty much, you know, you don't have a family, so there's some areas that make you unique. And I've got my little areas of uniqueness, but you've been able to really focus on yourself, which is beautiful because now you're going to be able to help a lot of people. And I want to point out too, I don't mean to take all the energy because I want you to get your, share with them as much as you can, but you have, for every cancer patient, diabetic, any disease that you've worked with, anyone that does this program that you've designed over these years has had success, no matter how far down the road they are. Stage 4 cancers being your favorite to work with. And so 100% recovery, so that's amazing. So there's no incurable disease, it's just that you need to, there's so many synthetics, right? I mean, the synthetics are 100 years ago, they weren't here. They're everywhere now, and now you're using your genius and your insight to use nature in a way that potentially other healers in past centuries didn't need to use. So, what can these guys do to succeed on a raw food diet?
Well, I think the first thing is cleansing. But while you're cleansing, you have to remember to hold yourself together. So there's the balance already before you strike that bigger balance. There's always little balances before you get to the bigger balances. So if I was to do it over again and cleanse again, and if I could save your viewers some time and some struggles and some hardships, I would probably say that first of all, you have to drink a lot of water, which I didn't do. That's the first step. If you want to speed up your cleansing and speed up your detoxing, the more water you drink, the better. But then there is the factor of what kind of water you're actually putting in your body. So if you want to be a raw foodist, obviously you're interested in health. So you're a health enthusiast. So you have to follow through with that, you know, and you have to be willing to go out of your way to get the best things, and water is more important than the food. So you have to go to your nearest spring, and you have to drink spring water first and foremost for anything. If you can't get spring water, then that's another topic of what the best water option is on your shelf, but preferably to stay away from that is number one. So
good spring water is the key.
Water.
And how much water should they be drinking when they're in the cleansing phase, when they're in the maintenance phase, when they're in the building phase? I mean, lots, more than people think.
Yeah, the cleansing phase for sure you have to drink more, but then even the building phase, it's not too different. Cleansing phase, I would recommend myself, and through my experience with, you know, working with people and healing people, you should shoot for 8 quarts a day.
That
sounds
couple
like a lot.
gallons.
Sounds like a lot, but that is where you will find the difference. That is where you will break new ground. That's where the difference lies.
You're becoming a waterfall of the most purifying element on earth.
Yeah, it's like a constant bombardment of a transfusion from the earth, which is what we were designed for. So it's just natural. It's just unnatural for us in this day and age to think about putting that much water in our body.
Yeah, well, when you got here, Sophie and I were both dehydrated. I jumped on the program a little bit quicker because I'm able to, yes sir, you know, and just start chugging. And I've been all I do all day is liquids, and that's probably one of the reasons why I felt a lot better. And we weren't getting very good quality water. I mean, I was looking around, researching this, researching that, I would just get the basic water, but then, you realize that the waters are just cooked. And so now we went and got the big BPA free water jugs, and we're going up to the spring. It's about an hour and a half away. We'll probably do that once or twice a week, once we get more of those bottles, and we'll use that to make our tonics and for drinking water. And I'm going to stay on this program because I get it, and you're a gift to me from God and our mother, so that I can learn this stuff, so I can be a better life regenerator. And I feel, I wish I would have known, but I didn't. So many things that you've taught me, and now I'll be just better. And so I really appreciate that, bro. So let's do water is number one. More water. And I agree. I felt better within the first 24 hours. In fact, when we were on the phone, you told me, here's what you should do, here's what you do. I started the program, structuring the water in the backyard with the herbs, and whatever herbs I had, and I instantly started feeling better. Because I would drink maybe 32, maybe 64 ounces of water in a day on a high exercise day, and that's just not enough for where I'm at with what I'm dealing with, old issues. So my cells are pretty clean from all the raw foods, but these calcium deposits and the death crystals from the drugs, And so with your body work and your tonics, I'm feeling much better, higher flow, way more strength. So let's go to what would be the second most important thing after the water.
Well, we're kind of going over what is best for the raw food lifestyle.
Overall,
right.
We're just 101 here.
101, yeah. So water, number one. No comparisons anywhere, anyhow. I mean, that's it. Spring water, number one success ingredient. Second thing you can do is structure your water, which is adding things to your water which is something you should do when you're cleansing anyway. And I
structure the water. The thing is about that, we really can't get into that.
That's too much. Yeah.
But the thing is I will show you, if it's okay with Tavis, he's got his program, he's going to do YouTube, he's going to teach, but I think he'll probably give me permission to show you what I've been doing. He's going to do it on his channel, which is Tavis Bradley on YouTube. I recommend you subscribe to his channel and watch for this guy's videos coming, because like he said, he's been hiding for 20 years in a vow of silence about this, and he's coming out now, and I am highly encouraging you. There's a lot of great raw food teachers, but I am sure that you will find Tavis to be one of the best. You know what I'm saying? Just that I've ever known in all these years. He's so humble. That's why he's quiet and can't scream at the top of his lungs, because he doesn't feel like what he's saying is important as I feel like. Yeah. But anyways, I will teach you the tonics. I will show you how to structure. Like I said, we can't get into that right now because it's a whole thing in itself, and you need a little instruction to be able to do it. And you can't. One of the things I like about you is how careful you are. So you're a specialist, is what we say it, and I'm a generalist. I say eat more fruits and vegetables, and then that's about all I can do, because it can be, you don't want to get yourself in trouble, because everybody's different. Are you a 17-year-old girl with, mononucleosis, or are you a 85-year-old lady with arthritis? There's different things. There's different organ weaknesses, and you have to address these things. That's why I've been a generalist, like general health, general detox, quit killing yourself. You are very much a specialist, and when you do these types of programs, you need a little more information. So subscribe to his channel, which I'll put down below this video, at Tavis Bradley on YouTube, and then you can watch for his future videos about tonics and healing at the deeper levels, and then I'll do some of what I've learned as well, which is kind of the same thing, just using fruits and vegetables, but also a few other additions as well. It's algae and herbs, but all natural foods from the earth, so no discrepancies. It's just powdered food in a bottle, and it's not isolated things. It's like powdered earth consciousness. So I want to make sure, because we're going to have some resistance from certain factions who believe that everything you need comes in a banana.
Right.
When bananas are great, but they're going to lead eventually, over the long term, to potential deficiencies because of the hybridization.
Yeah. Well, that's part of my mission. It's become more of my mission as I've been on the sidelines and watched the raw food movement develop into what it is and where it's gone. Part of my mission is to kind of debunk and to help get rid of the dogma in the raw food movement as far as what is right and what is wrong and what is good and what is bad, and bring a balance to it and let people be free to the medicines of the earth, and let them have the medicines without feeling such a restraint. If you have all the gifts on the table and someone's behind you and they're saying, you know what, you should only eat that gift, you should only eat that medicine, and there's this full spectrum of medicines that come from the womb of the earth, and it seems kind of unnatural, to restrain yourself and isolate yourself and keep yourself from certain medicines that are natural and unhindered, So I believe in a lot of, I don't believe, but I know from direct experience that there's things that work, that there are issues around with, as far as controversy goes, like you were just talking about, like a lot of people want to stay away from supplements because they want to stay pure and natural, but when you take spirulina and you put it into a bottle, it doesn't change it into something else. It's still just the same as if you were to not put it in the bottle. So there's just things that we have to let go of in our mind and free ourselves up and just allow ourselves to receive the medicine, from the earth in its natural state. So,
Which is exactly what you did for me, and I received the medicine of freedom, because what's interesting about this detox program is the fat is like essential during detox, which only after speaking with you and thinking about it for a while and picturing the living oils penetrating, softening, I'm grounded more than ever and stronger. And so I was just like on fruit and vegetables with very low fat. Not super low fat. I mean, I'd have these avocado binges every once in a while, and I thought it was bad, but it was very in my intuition working. And so when he came, he said, yeah, I thought we were going to do some kind of water fast or something. When he got here, he showed me the tonics and taught me the program, and I started drinking. And then at night, he would say, okay, are you ready for your medicine salad? And I'm like, okay. And he's like putting the avocados and olive oil and hemp seeds and all these green herbs and mixing it up, and I'm just like, that's part of the detox? And it's like, yeah, man, you have to eat this. You need these fats. You intuitively knew that I needed these fats, and I'm like, hallelujah. And so every night we've been having these epic salads that, just because the foods that are used in those salad dressings, which you're going to show the viewers on your YouTube channel, but just because the salad dressings taste good doesn't mean, like, they're medicinal salad dressings. They're the most amazing thing, and you can feel yourself literally getting stronger. So again, you freed me, because what I was doing was I was molding to the pressure of the factions and trying to fit into all the factions and not be kicked and then get all talked about negatively on the blogs. Dan eats honey, Dan eats too much fat, and I was shrinking when I should have been expanding. And that's another thing you brought into my experience, as well as abundance consciousness, which relates over to the food thing. I had this scarcity consciousness. Don't eat too much fat, don't eat too much fat. And of course I'm still going to be doing water fasting as the months roll on, and the tonics and things like that, but the freedom from the fat. And I've literally eaten more fat in the last week than I have in the last 3 months, and it instantly felt better. And there was a freedom there, and there was this thing that I knew, there was this inner child that was starving, that wanted to just eat, but I was always so disciplined. Just like you said you stayed on fruit for 10 years with no water by sheer will. And that's what I've done too, because I thought in my mind it was the right thing. But as soon as you came and explained to me the benefits of the golden living oils, I got it. And I am so much better for it. So you got excited and wanted to say something. Just make sure you speak up. Okay? He loves me.
Yes, I do. So anyway, back to the succeeding on the raw food diet.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Tangent.
So it's water, and then it's it's striking a balance early on, even when you're in the cleansing state, so that you're not depleting yourself, because, well, it's very customized too. So if you have like a past history of taking synthetics, pharmaceuticals, or some type of drug, then you don't want to
go too fast
or too deep, so yeah. So then you just have to be aware, so that telling somebody one generalized way of doing that really isn't fair, because everybody's got their own history, so you have to bring the history into the protocol or the approach, so
because detoxifying all the drugs I did could have been too fast and detrimental, and that's why I couldn't go any further than like 14 days before I started to kind of wig out, and the doctor at True North was like, dude, you're kind of tripping, you better eat something.
Yeah.
And I see now, after meeting you, those drugs and stuff, I mean, my eyes were like this, and I was just, it was just not good.
Yeah.
And now I see your program slows that down, neutralizes some of those, the harmful stuff that really got stored in my brain, because I did a lot, and so I'm so glad that you're here to help me, bro. So
yeah,
I'm here to help him in any way I can. So, and I just know my viewers, so that's why I'm reiterating, because I know kind of how to flow. I want to make sure that they grasp this. So let's move on to like number 3.
Number 3, water is number 1. So overall, if you're just talking about overall health in the raw food way of life, it's basically comes down to an approach, because it really is about absorption, assimilation, and if you don't tend to and take care of the factors that are in the way of your assimilating and your absorption, then it will be very, very easy to fall by the wayside, because your body's not capturing and it's not utilizing the magic that you're putting in your body. It's the same idea as the putting new wine into old wineskins. First you have to change out the wineskin, casing before you want to put in new wine. That's basically the philosophy. That's the concept behind it. So
cleaning out the GI tract,
the whole
system.
That's why cleansing is the first step in your raw food journey, even though it might not be the funnest, because I look forward to, and you look forward to now, the fats and the oils and the rich building food, so we can feel strong, and so we can have no limits to our physical performance. That's like the part we look forward to, but you can't just get there. You have to cleanse yourself and get rid of the plaque and the dead residue and tissue inside your body first. So that's the first step. So there's all these things you can do to succeed in the raw food lifestyle, as far as what you can take and the balance of your eating. But when it comes down to it, the foundation is the cleansing first approach.
Cleansing first, but yet you came and you intuitively knew with me that I kind of needed to build up first.
But that's part of the cleansing.
Right, so because everyone's so depleted, they've got the cooked fats, the cooked carbohydrates, and now you're saturating your cancer patients with oils to sort of build them, strengthen, create a buffer.
Well, there's one thing that a lot of people don't quite associate oils and fats to, and that's that living fat and living oil actually assimilates and dissolves the oils that are in your body that are from sources of heated or cooked avenues. So if you eat a living coconut oil or a living olive oil that's been completely stone crushed, naturally processed, then it actually dissolves and eats away the fats that are saturated and that are hardening inside of your body.
Because of like an enzyme emulsification.
It's the
dissolution.
magic of the oil. It's what the oil holds as its magic. its ability. You know, it has the ability to bind to and to dissolve, just like, you know, when people do the gallbladder flush with the lemon, it dissolves the gallstones. It does the same thing with the oil itself, because, you know, the gallstone itself, what is it made up of? Cooked oils. That's just a little example of what it does for the overall body. You know what I mean?
So the living oil emulsifies the old stagnant, and there's nothing worse than cooked oils for the human body.
That's top notch.
Second is the cooked carbohydrates,
well,
or
first
the proteins.
First is the uric acid and the animal products. Second is the oil that's been heated, and then it goes down from there. But
Yeah, so meat products, real bad. Not a good, because number one, you see a lot of sick people, and you help them get well, and the acid from the animal flesh builds up in the human organism, and it's painful, and it hurts, and it's death.
It's death.
And that is, we are connected by the old Essene teachings, so we've got this thing that we can't go into now, but a brotherhood that goes, and we're a couple of I mean, I never met anyone like Tavis, and I think last night you were saying that.
Like you either.
So there's
breath of fresh air.
Yeah, because it's real rare. The true ones that are the warriors of light, the children of the light, who are we're just doing this because we want to do it for ourselves, and then it just happens that somehow we've got this love in our heart, and we're just like, okay, well, we'll teach and share, because that's just the way the energy works within you, you know. So we're up to now that fats and oils are, and now after all these years, what I find interesting, and you don't find this in the raw food game, is that you think the fats and oils are the priority for the long-term success. And the Lou Corona was saying the same thing, but I couldn't get it through my thick head. And well, he would say the same thing. Fruits and vegetables are for cleansing and healing, and they are awesome. And that's what I was doing, because I had these issues, these hardened issues, and I could feel intuitively like, my brain, just come on, wake up.
Yeah.
And it was the acid drug residues and the calcium deposits in my shoulders and stuff, which you've been working on. And so, but Lou was trying to, you know, and I would be like, damn, Lou, that's a lot of fat, you know, and I said that to you too. But then I said, okay, I put my life in his hands, and I said, that's way more fat than I've eaten in like a month, in one meal. Avocado, and he's like, you need this, dude. And I was like, you're the boss. And I was the happiest camper in the world. Literally, I called them, what did I call them? Liberation salads. I was liberated. And then within the first 24 hours, it felt better. And your favorite oil is olive? Why?
I have a super connection to the olive plant. First of all, because it goes back to the ancient days, and I have a connection like you do to those times, you know. So it's like the healing medicine that, you know, in a way has carried like played this role throughout history in healing. So it has this memory of like healing people and being part of sustaining people in like the you know, all these different lifestyle.
They're just dense
and
and powerful food, olives. Yeah. And when they're stone crushed, highest quality olive oil, not the cheap.
All the residue in it, yeah.
Unfiltered, dirty looking in the bottom. Yeah, with those the minerals and the vitamins and just the
antioxidants and the binding, yeah. So olive is definitely my favorite because, first of all, it's a fruit. Any oil that's a fruit is going to be the most efficient for you. Nuts and seeds in being processed through oil, is amazing. It has its place and it builds you like unbelievable. But fruit oils are the easiest to for your body to deal with. The efficiency is there. So
avocado, olives. Olives are a fruit.
Avocado, olives, and
coconut.
Coconut.
It's top three.
Top three. Right?
Always been my favorite too. I put the olive oil to the side due to popular demand, but I'm back on point. I got it. I mean, it's like you hang around somebody's energy vibe and it transmits into you, and then you're like, duh, how could I have not seen this before? But your mind is a very powerful thing, and I was, you know, I do research and I listen and I try to learn as much as I can, but then you get into this headspace, and then I let sort of the raw food community sort of mold me. So, and I got to be this little parrot. And so I'm, you know, I mean, what can you do? I apologize for that, but, you know, it takes a good friend to open up so that you can be a more effective life regenerator. So we're on the fats and oils. And everyone knows now there's some good fats and oils. We've got a lot of people that want to lose weight. Do we bring the fats and oils in?
From my experience in helping people with weight loss, actually the number one ingredient is the fat and oil, because it does dissolve. Like a lot of people will say that avocado oil is, in avocados, the oil in the avocados is fattening. You hear that every day, all the time. But for me, and I have direct experience in working with people for weight loss, that is something you must eat, and you have to eat the other oils. The coconut, olive, and more than that. I mean, you have to eat all the living oils, but the key in losing weight is really simple. It's how you blend and what you combine. So if you take...
Food combinations?
Yeah, if you take like a olive oil and you combine it with any type of sugar, then you're going to keep the weight on, and you might gain a little more than what you had before. But if you take the oil alone and do an oil-based diet, just oils, then you will lose weight, and it will be really efficient. And not only that, it's the healthiest way to lose weight, because it's giving you so much in return. It's coating all of those tissues, coating your organs, and so you're not starving yourself, you're not putting your organs through all this stress and all this anxiety over like some kind of
food trip.
Yeah, like a weight loss system.
You have to be relaxed to lose weight. You have to be relaxed to have success in any area of life. The nerves, you're a brain and nerve guy. I don't know if we'll be able to get into that, because we got an hour if we need it, bro, for this video. I know that they are eating this up. Hopefully you can hear everything he's saying. Turn up your headphones or whatever you got to do. Go buy some new speakers to get this stuff. And I promise, I told Tavis I'll go wherever you're at. I'll fly there to get more videos from you, to hang out with you, to learn more from you. I will have a lot of because I'm going to take what you've taught me and add it to my own program and continue to give some success-oriented information. And now let's move on into, it's hard because we've been talking every day 12 hours a day, and there's still so much. But it's a relief. And what I wanted to say before I hand the mic back to Tavis is that I think obesity is toxicity. Overweight is just over toxic, right? I mean, so it's not real. Fat doesn't make you fat. Toxins make you fat. The toxins in McDonald's, the toxins in the crappy food, and we eat the best of the best, and we go out of our way to make sure we do that, because you can't do Monsanto genetically modified foods, because if you do, you're going to be a genetically modified human, and we saw quite a few of those at the hot springs yesterday, and we ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? And so let's go on to say like number 4 of importance. Like what do you feel like the next step is in making sure, just in general, like what we need to think of, what we need to start understanding within our own experience? After the water, and then structuring the water with Mother Nature's herbs, and then we went into the fats. After the fats,
all of these are like just basically, there's not one before the other.
Right.
I mean, water used to be it, but really we're in a spiritual and a biological war zone on this planet right now with the food, So right up there is just the fact that you must go out of your way to get non-GMO products, fruits and vegetables, and you have to do your homework, and just has to be you have to become a warrior of health. And part of that is doing your own research and finding out what companies are GMO, if you're getting them in a bottle, if you're getting some kind of raw food product or something like that, or if you're shopping in the fruits and vegetables section. You have to get to know, and I'd like to help with that and help people update them on what farms are safe and what farms are not. But in the meantime, you really have to get to know your fruits and vegetables. You have to make sure that you're not eating GMO foods, because the raw food diet is not about that. The raw food diet's about natural. So, and ultimately, it's about getting foods that are wild. Like you today made the fennel and the malva drink, and the oranges. So it comes back to also utilizing your own environment around you and collecting wild foods and growing your own food, because grocery stores don't offer vital food when it comes down to it. You know, they offer, you know, it's
Fillers.
secondary.
Fillers for your herbal tonics.
Yeah, basically.
And so we don't want to discourage you, but we want to encourage you, you know, like, we're very fortunate. We're both very educated. We're both like, we're going out there. We've got abundance. We've got priorities. I know some of you have families and stuff. So it's suffice to say, do the best you can and honor yourself. Spend more money. And because, you know, when you spend more money on yourself, it's just going to come right back to you. And some of you may not have that understanding of the universe, but, you know, just let that seed be planted in your head and open up and let go. And when you let go, then there's the openness, and it just comes right back and it just flows through you. And the more you're open, the more it can just flow through you, instead of worrying, oh, I can't get these organic oranges because they're $2 more per bag. I'll get the inorganic oranges. I mean, I understand finances and stuff like that, but I want to encourage everyone to think abundantly and to get the highest quality food, because it makes for your body, it makes for your mind. The better quality the food is, the better quality your thoughts will be, your nervous system will function better. There's a lot to it, it's worth it, you know, because like he said, you have to be a spiritual warrior for your health. Otherwise, this world is almost literally designed to take it from you. You know, if you're not working at it, it's going to be robbed from you, because these guys are not, they don't want people thinking for themselves. They don't want people feeling good and being totally free of the need for pharmaceutical drugs or consumerism in those ways, you know, or dumb down an economic slave, I like to call it.
Yeah.
So so did we get a number 4, or did we just...
Number 4 is making sure that you pick out real food. And
heirloom
food is number 1,
and wild foods.
And wild foods, and try to stay away from the genetically modified stuff.
Yeah.
That's absolutely essential.
They want to own everything on the planet, but they can't own the wild plants. And I went out today, and there's enough food out there for months and weeks, and nutrition, true nutrition with the fennel and the malva to heal, strengthen, regenerate, alkalize, and consciously connect me to the earth. So I might go get some more of that for a salad tonight.
Yeah.
So can we move on to number 5? Although none of these are more important than the others.
They're all the same.
They're just imperative that you apply them to the best of your ability. Mm-hmm. So move on so that we can have a general success with long-term raw foodism.
A lot of this is stuff you already, preach and speak of. So, but I can, enforce it. Like, the need for being in touch with the elements, and getting your daily movement and exercise and standing on the earth without shoes and getting your sunlight, taking your clothes off, maybe wearing your minimal amount of clothes, and taking in the sun to your solar plexus and regenerating your battery and your nervous system. Those two together, the earthing, standing on the ground barefoot, and then the sun, that's your connection to calming your nerves down, along with the oils. So those 3 right there will carry you a long distance in the raw food
because a lot of brothers went too high on the fruit, and the nerves got frayed at the end, and everyone's, why did homeboy die? And you're thinking because homeboy wasn't eating enough olives, avocados, coconuts to keep his nervous system from frying out. Because the long-term, too long of fruitarianism without the good fats, is it like a brittleness of the nerves?
Well,
or an overexposure to energy without the cushion of the fats?
Yeah, I really believe in oil and fats as a buffer, as a protective mechanism to protect us from, especially in this day and age, from pollutants, compromised environment on the outside. But aside from that, taking us back to another time, oil and fats had its place as well and created great health. And part of that is because it plays a huge part in the brain itself. The fats and the oils actually are needed for the brain to stay lubricated. You know, the pineal gland especially, the pineal gland has to be protected. It's so so fine and so gentle and so vulnerable. And the truth is that fruits don't really do the job. They don't protect you from you know.
Seems like food,
abrasions.
the fruit would have a nice feeding effect on those glands, but not so much of a protective effect on the...
Right, because they offer the electrolytes and they offer the conductivity. So they actually, they stimulate and they charge these parts of your body, but then, you know, you need the balance. Everything's about balance. Why do you think nature creates a coconut with the meat and the water? It's because the oils in the meat and the water has the electrolytes. Both together create the balance. Just like honey and the comb, you have a comb that offers, you know, that ability to carry it slowly and gradually through the digestive system and processes perfectly in balance into the pancreas. Without it, it rushes to the pancreas and it jolts it and puts it into a cardiac arrest almost, you know. So nature has designed this, and so we, by doing that, we're mimicking nature. We're taking the oil and we're creating the balance in that way, just like nature is with the fruit and the oils and the fats. So it's the same thing, it's just mimicking what's already taking place, you know.
Well, I gotta say that the two longest raw food guys that I know that have succeeded, you and Lou Corona, that are both beautiful, strong, calm, radiant at the same time, kind of like what you want to be. Good skin, good energy, stable, peaceful, you know, are saying the same thing, where I'm looking at some of these other dudes and what they're sounding seems okay, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the results. And and what's interesting is you've never met Lou Corona. We're going to try to do that next week, but Lou, after 40 years on raw foods, is saying pretty much the same thing as you. Very similar program. Lou actually does the same thing. Liquids all day, a nice meal with a good assortment of greens and fats at night. You know, so I'm totally digging it right now, and you're definitely changed up my my game for sure. I'm going to continue to promote the fruits and vegetables, of course, but olives are a fruit, avocados are a fruit, coconuts are a fruit. You know, so nothing's really changed. It's just a new way of seeing things, and I think this is very valuable information. You can take it as you want. You might not be able to sense Tavis the way I do. I've studied all of it, and so when when someone makes so much sense of this with this much experience, I wish you could get to know him better, and I hope that you do in the future through his videos and through my videos. You can understand, like, oh, okay, like you've been through so many things, you know, and then you'll have, if like things that most humans couldn't or won't or definitely haven't done. So I'm just really impressed. I'm inspired by your discipline's not the best word, but your will to succeed at this, because you were inspired by the same book as I was. 13 years ago, Gospel of Peace. Raw food or overnight, nothing I can say about it. The thing that makes me jealous about you is that you did it. You stayed 100% raw. I've had a few cooked food meals here and there, but I am committed.
Like I said, you know, for me, being on my side of it, where I stand, having known people that I envy, you know, that have struggled and that, you know, have been motivated and inspired by a way of life that may be the raw food way of life, or it may be like a spiritual path or a conviction, and they fall, you know, and they mess up. But to me, what I envy is people who fall and they have the power to get back up and continue to go strong, because that takes much more power to me and more well, you know, it takes, I don't know if power is the right word, it takes more
Determination,
persistence, and self-love, because if you fall, the judgment that you throw on yourself is hardcore. You know, it's a lot. So if you can get back up from that and keep going, then that is
you envy me a lot,
else,
then,
you know, so,
because I have fallen a great many times. But I have always gotten up, and I have always known that that book that has inspired us both it was just, when the light comes out of the sky and transforms your whole life forever into a 180, you can't deny it, you know. And then so that was, so, you know, being with the background that I had in the genetics and stuff, I might not have been able to be as strong as I wanted to be, but I'm so much more stable now. And it's always been important to me to be 100% raw, but I just didn't know how. I didn't, and I wasn't able to stay stable, you know. And so I'm just committed to, because there is a difference between 90% raw and 100% raw. Something happens to the 100% raw people that creates some kind of strange genius, you know. I don't know how much you can see here, but just by me talking every day, there's this, like, you know, it's a genius that comes through you, the ability to tap into what's already there. So it's not like you're special. It's just that the way that you've lived, the choices that you've made.
The law itself is what is sacred, not me. It's because I, without applying the magic of nature and the healing properties of, you know, of our source and creator, you know, I am basically a stick, you know, like just a walking bunch of bones, you know. So it's the life force gift, the blessing that comes to us through the plants and through the, you know, medicines of the earth. That's where the credit is due, you know, not to us.
To life itself.
Back to where it came from. So we are nothing special. We are just utilizing the gifts which have the magic in them, and we become magic because we're filled with magic. So how can you not?
Filled with life. And
so
become these creators of greatness. We've got a couple more minutes. Is there anything else we should cover? This has just been very basic information, and we're going to go into more. Like I said, I'm going to share and teach my insights and inspire, and then you're going to be able to learn from Tavis. But we're just crushing the myth that there's one right way to do it.
Yeah.
It's that we've got to utilize all the gifts of Mother Nature at the appropriate time, you know. But I think we both strongly feel that unaltered, unchanged, unheated food retains its consciousness and its gifts, and that heat can destructure and destroy, the fire of death. And I don't think my opinion, there's no way that heat improves food. I don't think so. And the people that I've known that have been the 100% raw fooders for any length of time are the ones that have the same magic that I see and feel. So I'm, you know, and my own experiences, you know, I can't deny it. And plus just my own, that commandment that came out of that light, that just told me, and it showed me, like, as a revelation in my brain, that all raw, living. And when you cook food, when you eat cooked food, you cooked, frozen, and rotten food, you cooked, freeze, and rot your body also. I mean, it didn't take me much. I don't know why, but I feel like I picked up from a lifetime before. Like, oh, this is where I left off. And then I got it. I was like, oh, no wonder I'm just, you know, this bodybuilder who's just like I'm big, but I'm not happy. And I'm stiff as hell. Couldn't bend over to touch my toes. So I'm glad that I found the teachings of the living foods, and I'm very sure that I'm going to continue to improve on every level.
With your will, there's no other way. So I just want to say, you know, before we wrap it up, that, you know, I feel like it's really important, like, to not get caught up in the dogma of the raw food movement, and to just allow yourself, I know you're going to say this too, but just allow yourself to receive the gifts, you know, of the earth, and not to get caught up in one person putting down one type of raw food, you know, and then raising up another, because if you get caught in that, then you might fall into a malnourished type of mentality, and then that'll follow into your physical body, you know. So
abundance consciousness with the food, and each raw living food has its place, and I've always known that intuitively, and I fell for the dogma because I was trying to be a people pleaser, and now I will continue, as I always have been, to be nothing but a truth seeker. And I will stand up here with courage, and I will speak my own truth, because I have to. And then if there's only one person left at the end of the camera here, it's going to be that person that matters. It's going to be that person that's going to succeed, because the truth what's going to set us free. And we're going to continue to share. I think we're a real special unit here we got going. I'm going to do my best to encourage Tavis to get as much out there as he can, because extremely helpful with your experience. Oh, what I was going to say real quick was, what's funny is that he respects people that falls down. But the thing about this guy, where he feels unfortunate, is that he's never really failed. He's been so clear with his purpose and mission. So you could envy that too, and you could envy me for having fallen down so many times and been slogging through my own ignorance and building up this great momentum and power. But each person has their own, and this is from my heart to you, that each person has their own gift. And we can't compare ourselves with others. There's no right or wrong. Like, Tavis can't do what I do on the YouTube with the wigs and the craziness and talking, and the entertainment is all get out. But he's got these other skills he's developed, and you've got your gifts and your talents. And you focus on that, and you love other people for their talents, and don't try to compare. Team up, and create a balance, and then look at the beauty of that, So just give your gifts. Anything else you want to say, Tavis? We've got an epic website, and you've got a great little list over there of your top 10 things to do to succeed on a raw food diet. What's your website?
It's tavisbradley.org.
And what's that little PDF or something?
Yeah, it's a PDF. It's a free little PDF download that offers a list of 10 things that will help you, according to my own direct experience, to stay strong and to persevere in the raw food way of life. It's not the top 10 things, it's just 10 things.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good. And you've got some books coming out, and you've done some amazing, crazy things that I wish we could have got into and let them get to know you a little bit better as a person. The amazing things that you've done with your life, helping people, the stories you've shared with me. I mean, crazy mystical stuff that in like 3,000 years people are going to dig up your work, the scrolls that he's buried in the earth. Hopefully they don't start looking. They're going to find his scrolls, and they're going to be like the truth scrolls. It's just crazy guy right here, crazy man, but in the best way, so unique. So we'll let you go. Well, we hope you felt the love. I wish we could keep going forever, but an hour is good enough. The living oils, a lot of people, they're not into fat. I'm seeing it. Lou Corona, and looking at the guys that aren't eating the fat, and it's, I don't know, I'm not feeling the vibe there, so I don't want to judge anyone or create more conflict than I need to. But we're going to keep coming at it with love. That's the most important thing, the vitamin L. So thanks, Tavis.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thank you all so much. We love you, and we are here to serve you with our own experience and our own desire to succeed at this and be living examples of the raw food way, the open heart way, the mind connection to the Most High God of the universe, and keep the truth alive, keep the flame alive as spiritual warriors. So I hate letting you go, you guys. This is my favorite time of life. It's just sitting here hanging out with you. Peace. Oh, and subscribe to these videos if you haven't already, and go to Tavis's website, which I'll have links down below this video, his website, and pick up that PDF, and then subscribe, and then bother him like every day and be like, Tavis, make more videos. Tavis, make more videos. Tavis, and don't let up on this guy, because you guys trust me, and I will tell you that I hold Tavis in the highest of the highest of the highest regard, and I don't think I've ever done that before. Peace.